但是有另外一个组织叫做
Another organization called What the
Beep.
Yes, I'm not going to say the word because I'm afraid the video will be censored or, otherwise.
他们并且声称这样的消息呢是由另外一个组织叫做 WTF 华的发所发出的。
Well, I got the it's kind of a dark humor. I'll say this is very different from the Namewee songs that I've heard before. Usually they're like ballads, they're kind of slow. And this one is more like a rock song. He is poking fun at the head of the WHO, Tedros. So Tedros beats around the bush because he's afraid of offending China. Yeah, China would really like for us to forget that patient zero was most likely in Wuhan, China. Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee was a whistleblower who was taken into custody. He later died from COVID. He tried to warn his circle of doctor friends and was detained for doing so in the early stage of the virus. Now, I know this is making fun of China. China has tried to, well, actually, they put a lot of pressure on other countries to not deliver the vaccine directly to Taiwan. They wanted Taiwan to use China's vaccine, Sinopharm vaccine, even though the efficacy of that vaccine has been lower than other vaccines such as BNT, Moderna, etc. No safe distance for our relationship. So maybe he's saying he's making a pun. They're too hot for each other. Or also, in the time of COVID, there's no safe distance between people. Crown Corona yourself and gulp deep as you breathe. Now, Crown is a type of liquor, and Corona is a beer in Mexico. So maybe he's talking about drinking.
No.
So yeah, Corona is actually Latin or Spanish for crown, and that refers to the structure of the virus itself, and that's why it's called a coronavirus. Joy is like a virus. I am the super carrier. So he wants to bring joy to the world. That's another song by Three Dog Night, Joy to the World. Where are you, my friend? Long time no see. Is he talking about COVID or Tedros or China? Or am I reading too much into it? Probably. I'm reading too much into it. Stay home all day, your dad is suffocating. Again, he could be referring to your dad wants some free space to do his things that he likes, or maybe he's literally suffocating from COVID. Just book a taxi, a flight. Anywhere is fine. Don't say that I didn't invite you. So you're saying the invitation is like a warning to run away. Call you and your auntie. I want to hang out and play now. But hang out and play is not like a warning, is it? So hang out and play means run away. VRE Fun said, I think about the lockdown for no social gathering. Okay, so maybe it's referring to the lockdown. And, China, parts of China and Hong Kong are still under a rather strict lockdown. Taiwan, we can move around freely within Taiwan, and we can leave the country, but we still got a 2-week quarantine waiting for us when we get back. So that's a big issue. I mean, like if I were to fly back to the U.S. and visit my family, then that's like a 20-hour flight there, and I'd want to stay at least a month, and then come back. I'd have 2 weeks in quarantine. That'd be a month and a half taking off from work, and if I took off that long, I'm not sure I'd have a job when I came back, because I just started my new job. So yeah, it's prohibitive for a lot of people. They can't afford to take off from work for that amount of time. So we're still locked within our individual countries pretty much. I can go anywhere. I want to infect everyone with my enthusiasm. Again, using medical terms for viruses or bacteria. I want to hang out and play now. Hug each other, no quarantine. I thought about this the other day. One of my youngest students, a little girl who's about 6 years old, came up to me and hugged me. And I wondered if I should tell her that, maybe she shouldn't hug me because of COVID. But I didn't want to discourage her because, kids will grow up. This is a formative stage for kids that age. They learn social interaction around that age because a lot of times it's, the first time they spend significant amounts of time away from home. And I don't want to teach her not to hug people. So it's a really tough time. And I really wonder how kids are going to function in the future, having grown up under lockdowns and quarantines. It really worries me for the children. As long as we gather here, feelings will never mutate. Again, using virus terms. Get rid of the mask, zero suspicion. Toss the thermometer, not thermos. Thermometer, and put the heat on me. Real name is not needed. I am who I am. Sometimes, especially during COVID, I get nostalgic for the 90s. When I was in university, we didn't have any of these precautions. We could go anywhere we wanted to. We didn't have to wear masks. We didn't have to register at each location. It's hard not to get nostalgic. And the 90s was before 9/11, so there weren't any of these stupid terrorist precautions put in place at the time. So it was a lot more free time, I think. Okay, there's some guitar coming through on this part. I want to hang out and play now. I can go anywhere. He's dreaming. I want to infect everyone with my enthusiasm. Maybe I'm reading this song wrong. Maybe he wants everyone to forget about the virus and just be happy?
Yep.
Okay.
You could be right.
I could be right. So if you have any comments, if you think I'm right, that he just wants everyone to forget about COVID and just be happy for a minute, leave us a message on our YouTube account, Jason Adam TV. I want to infect everyone with my enthusiasm. I want to hang out and play now. Hug each other, no quarantine. This does sound like a dream. As long as we gather here, feelings will never mutate. I was thinking that is a psychological phenomenon. whenever there's an emergency situation, people will follow precautions up to a point, and then they'll rebel. And I forget what that phenomenon is called. People will get tired of being worried all the time, and they will just start ignoring precautions. Kind of like a stage of denial. Toss the thermometers and put heat on me. Real name is not needed. I am who I am. Super antibody. So maybe he is the cure for COVID. Namewee. He's saying the opposite of what we would think. The opposite of what's actually happening. Actually, if we say the opposite of what we think, that's sarcasm. Irony is when the opposite of what we think should happen happens. For example, if a fire station catches fire and burns to the ground, that would be like irony, because we would expect there to be enough firemen at the fire station to put out the fire before it burned the station to the ground. Yeah, I get that part. I get that he's placing blame on the CCP, and I think most people around the world place the blame for the spread of the virus on the CCP.
COVID-19 病毒消失的消息完全是误会一场。
Okay, so it turns out to be misunderstanding. COVID is not cured.
那么根据了解，这个 WHO 是拒绝承认
The WHO refuses to admit that it has ever made this announcement.
曾经发布过这样的消息，他们并且声称这样的消息。
Besides, it claims the news has come from
但是有另外一个组织叫做
another organization called what the
B.
Yes, I'm not going to say the word because I'm afraid the video will be censored or, otherwise
WTF.
Fall out of the ratings. WTF, in other words.
WTF 华了发所发出的，这目的是为了。
So what does he say in Chinese? Does he say the word in Chinese? So this was in order to stir up rumor and slander China.
嫁祸给中国政府，因此研判。
It is concluded that the organization is an evil foreign force.
但是一帮邪恶的境外势力组织。那么有关。
On the other hand, the relevant party has confirmed.
单位呢目前已经确认超级病毒并不存。
That the super virus does not exist.
也再度证实。
Besides, it is also further confirmed that the COVID-19 virus
COVID-19 在昨天
has mutated yesterday
突然变种升级，目前这个
to become far more contagious.
传播速度相当惊人，以
It is now being transmitted throughout
传1000的速度在
the world with a 1 to 1,000 infectivity rate.
世界各国扩散，而且病患只
Patients may easily spread the disease by coughing just 3 times.
要咳嗽3下就可以轻易的传播。我们要在此
We urge those who are watching this
呼吁观众朋友加强防疫措施，做好最坏
to prepare for the worst.
打算。而对于
In addition, our station categorically condemns
坊间所流传的假消息，本台
rumors circulating in the community.
表达严正谴责。不过
Nevertheless, we'll remain at the front
会
line
持续站在第一线，为大家
to bring you the latest news on COVID-19.
追踪 COVID-19 的相关消息。新闻最后，
Lastly, best wishes to you and
祝大家平安顺心。
goodbye. So someone coughed and everyone runs away. So they're scrambling to leave the party. So yeah, China has been putting out a ton of disinformation lately, and this is something I wanted to mention in our live stream tonight. Recently, China has attempted to redefine democracy. They're trying to say that China is a democracy. Of course, that's not true. And they have shown just how much they have been angered by President Biden's recent democracy summit. So President Biden of the United States recently held a virtual democracy summit, and he invited representatives from many countries, including Taiwan, but did not invite representatives from China. Now, China tried to say that this democracy summit was not a big deal, but at the same time, they put on a huge disinformation campaign to try to say that China is a real democracy and America is not. And so just by this haphazard attempt at disinformation, they're drawing a lot more attention to the fact that they are not a democracy, and also to the fact that they have committed genocide. The CCP has committed genocide in China. And an independent tribunal just last week came to that conclusion, that the CCP has committed genocide.